All right, welcome everybody to the studio today. My name is Eric Coffee, and I will be your host today for all of those who are new to my show. How's everyone doing this Sunday fun day? I hope you had a wonderful week, and looking forward to bringing another exciting episode. Today, we're going to talk about construction, and the reason why we're talking about construction is because I've seen more millionaires made from scratch in construction than I've seen in my real life, right, than anything else in the world. So we want to talk about construction today. This is an area where I've been extremely successful. All my friends have been extremely successful. And so while normally we talk about all facets of government contracting, today we are diving in specifically on construction companies. And so exactly. We want people with no experience because the less experience you have, the more ignorant you are, the less knowledge you have about the industry, the better because you don't come in with preconceived notions. A lot of times, people coming into these industries already have something in their brain about how to make it work, and so it really the persons that have less experience, the better. When I started off with my construction journey, I had zero experience doing anything. I didn't know how to build nothing. I still pretty much don't know how to build crap, but I do know how to start a construction company successfully and do so making millions of dollars. And so the reason why it's funny, I purposefully chose this title, okay, because I did not want to scare off people by saying that they could make millions of dollars. I wanted them to first focus on generating $100,000, and then from there you could gradually grow up and scale, right? So I didn't want to deter folks that were interested in making, starting small, because in this particular business, this will be one of the few occasions where you hear Eric Coffey say, "Start small." So this is one of the few occasions where I'm going to say we want to start small because you got to get your bumps, your bruises. You got to get beat up a little bit. You got to eat some crapo sandwiches. They taste really good with mayonnaise on them. But you got to get in there. You got to get in the arena, right, and fight and scratch and crawl. And so you got to get your hands dirty. And that's going to be the differences between what we normally talk about. So if you're ready for that topic, then hey, that's what we're doing. So before I get started, you know who I am, you know what I do, but we don't know who you are out there. So let people know who you are and tell us a little about what you do. And again, if you don't have a business, that's fine. That's why this conversation is so important today because a lot of times people come to me and they don't know what business to start. And so I've always stayed away from giving them a direct answer. But today, nah. Today, I'm telling you what I think that you should do, right? If you were asking me for my advice on how to start over, what would I do? And it'll be construction. And I'm going to show you throughout today's content the reason why I say that, on top of right giving you all of the expertise and knowledge that I've come to accumulate, which some people might call it free game. So we're going to give you lots of free game. We're going to put you on, right, and I'm going to tell you where to look for opportunities, who to talk to, where to go, and at the same time show you the things that I did step by step. And then I'm going to take questions. So if you're ready for that, that's what we're doing today. All right. So tell us who you are, at least, because some of your names aren't up there. What's up, Greg? I see you in the building. What's up, Tri Denson, Michelle Carter, Daryl G, Biggie, Lakeisha Kelly, right? How's everyone? Happy to see you guys. By the way, I'm going to be traveling for the next couple of weeks. So this is probably my last YouTube live getting it in. So, but do me a favor, okay? All my people out here, black and brown people out here, and small businesses, minorities, it doesn't matter. Please do me a favor. We all win when we all win. All right. We all win when we all win. I'm gonna say it again because maybe one of us in y'all head, right? So please make sure to share this with other people because even if you decide, right, not to do it, you decide to go down a different path, you decide that, right, maybe you decided to do something else differently, share it with someone out here who can help because the reason why I'm speaking on this topic today, the reason why this topic is so important today, okay? The reason why is because no state, no city, no municipality has ever met their minority goals, their diversity goals. None of them. Zero, right? And so what happens is that leaves a lot of room, right, for people like us who want to go in and who want to actually get help them meet those goals, wave our hands, say we exist, show them that what we could do, right? It leaves a lot of room for, I won't even say great companies, just like average companies, right? So you could be average and make a ton of money because no one has ever hit their goals. And so when I hear that time and time again, I'm like, I keep telling you guys, get in government contract, get in government contracting, but I'm not telling you like where to go. And purposely don't do that because oftentimes they say, people don't want to be told, right? They don't want advice, right? But a lot of times I find that people are asking me for advice. So I'm just gonna pretend like y'all asked me for this advice, and I'm assume if you don't want it, you just leave the channel. But I'm gonna assume that you guys asked me for advice and said, Eric, what should I do? I'm stuck. I'm not where I want to be in my life. I don't have all the money I need. I don't have all the success I need. I don't have the family that I want to have. I don't have the house I want to have. I don't drive the car I want to drive. My bank account doesn't look like it's supposed to look, right? And so that's why we're here today. So if that's you and that's what you want to talk about, that's what you want to hear, that's me. And that's what I'm giving out today. Nothing but love, nothing but free game, nothing but pouring into everybody who's willing to listen because I'm promising you this. I promise you this. We're going to make this into, it's going to become more and more popular. And as I become more and more popular, people are going to gravitate towards these videos. And so right now, I'm telling you now, I say this all the time. There's no better time than the present, right? Don't put this off for the future because I'm telling you, I've done things in my life that made people change the rules because we figured it out. And that's always been my goal, right? Is to get to the point where I help so many people become so successful that they have to change the rules of engagement. So I'm just warning you that as we become more popular, as I become more popular, as I start to get on bigger platforms and the message starts to get out there, it's the market dynamics are going to change. So as of today, as I'm speaking this, right, this opportunity exists. Okay. Now, I don't live in your city. I don't live in your state. I don't live in your community. So it's going to be up to you to be the one to go out and do the things that I say in your communities. Does that make sense? Right? So it's going to be up to you to be the ones to go out there and implement and execute on the ideas. I'm going to give you the backstory. I'm going to give you all of the resources. I'm going to support you. Y'all already know. Does everyone know? And we're going to talk about this, but when people sign up for my program, right? Let me see. Do I even have it up here? When people sign up for my program, do you know that we give you credit? Do y'all know that? Just in case people are new, right? So whenever people, let me share this real quick. So whenever people go in and they sign up for our program, right? The course that we sell. By the way, uh, I would be remiss if I didn't plug that we had a glitch in the beginning of December where we weren't allowing people to pay for our programs. So we extended the window to December 15th. So you can sign up for our accelerator program or our small business program up until December 15th. You don't have to, we're having problems with getting the contract signed and all integrated. So we opened the window for another 14 days to allow people to continue signing up. So I'm going to go ahead and just say that for those out here. But when you sign up for our programs, do you know that we give people credit? I actually give you credit, right? So when you're talking about you don't have credit and you're saying you don't have money, I give you credit. I vouch like my corporation that is owned by me vouches for you to give you credit. Eric, why do you do that for people? Because somebody did it for me. When I got started and I didn't have anything, someone did this for me. And so what I've done, I've been able to successfully do that for hundreds of students out there. So when people are starting out, and no, I ain't talking about business credit. We're talking about vendor credit, supplier credit. Nah, don't jump the gun. You don't need business credit to do this. This is not business credit. We're talking about supplier credit, vendor credit, right? So that you can actually start this business because in construction, right, when we're buying our materials, when we're buying supplies, the people that we buy from use 30-day credit. They buy a net 30 terms, different words they use for that. And so in order to get that, you have to have references from people that you've done business with. And so we do that for our small businesses. We've been successfully doing that for the last 4 years. And all the people that you see, a lot of them, they benefited from taking that and getting started when they had nothing. But I just want to say that out there real quick. The other thing, always, if you're not on Federal Help Center, please join Federal Help Center. Oh, I didn't put the link in. I want to put the link in here, right? Real quick, let me drop this link real quick so you guys have that link on there. So again, and then the last thing I'll plug before we jump into today, Federal Help Center as well. Make sure you stop over at Federal Help Center. I'm going to drop that in there as well. So exactly, supplier credit to help set up vendor accounts. That's right, Joanne. Correct. All right. So now, couple things. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. All right. Who do we have? I see some people in here. Um, and let me open my screen, and so we can have some conversations. Let's see, who do we have in here? I'm just going to go real quick down the list. Justine, thank you. God bless you as well. The pursuit of truth. I wish I caught this earlier. No worries. Stay nimble, be ready to pivot. Stefan, that's right. Jumpstart you. Michelle Carter. Nice. What's up? Justine, EP, RB, Alvin Dixon. Painting services. I love it. Okay, cool. So now let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about it. Why, Eric? Why construction? Why now? What's taking so long? Several reasons. And by the way, I do have a checklist here that I'm operating from. And so we're going to talk about it. And by the way, feel free to ask questions, right? I may probably towards the end bring some people up. Yes, like Yvette said, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you can get all this information. I can tell you the last two videos that I've done, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from people that have been very encouraged by the content. And so today, like I said, we want to just dive in and pour into you guys because I'm making a change. I'm not trying to make a change. I am making a change. You hear the difference in my words? I have helped hundreds of people successfully, and we're going to continue to help hundreds and not thousands of people to be able to take over. Imagine this, right? Let me just let me show you something, right? If you are, and I pulled this up before we got started, right? Go back to the statement I made earlier. No city, no state has ever met their diversity goals. Do you think that's by accident? That's okay. Don't worry. Listen, if you don't know how to bid, you're in the right place. If you don't know how to write a proposal, you're in the right place. So don't worry. That's perfect. I'm happy. That's why I want you guys here. That's what we're talking about. All right. So no city, no state has ever met their diversity goals. And right, it gets even better because they've never met their diversity goals, right? What are the reasons why they say they've never met their goals? Does anybody know why? Because they say we don't exist. We don't have capacity, we don't have capability, right? We don't have capital. And so as long as we keep not showing up with the ability to be able to perform, to do stuff, people are going to continue to say they can't meet their goals. Amen. As long as we don't show up, we don't go into the rooms, we don't participate, we don't try to learn how to do it, right? They're going to continue to say this and nothing's going to change. So I'm trusting the 83 of you that are watching right now, right? That you're going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to teach you, right, how to get capability. I'm going to teach you how to get capacity. I'm going to show you how to get cash, not cash, the fiat money, right? Because we're trained, our mind is trained that you have to work hard. That's what they keep teaching us. I have such a hard time communicating with my people because they think working hard is the only way, right? And again, I always go back to the book. It's called Think and Grow Rich, not Work and Grow Rich. So when we talk about, right, capital, cash, it's not fiat money. If I can show you how to go get and buy $1 million worth of equipment without giving any cash, isn't that the equivalent? Why do you need the million in cash? Doesn't make a difference because other people are not using their capital in that way. So I'm going to show you the way that I've successfully done it and the way that you're going to go and replicate and do it in your town, USA. And then you're going to be successful, right? And then you're going to teach somebody else how to do it. And that's what we're going to do. And so let's go back to, right, the idea of, um, let's look at this. So I pulled this up. List of US cities with the largest Black populations. All right. If you're in one of these cities, and again, I'm telling you, they haven't met their goals, right? They, okay, these cities, let's, Suffolk, Georgia, Jackson, Mississippi, Detroit, Birmingham, Miami Gardens, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee, Montgomery, Baltimore, Augusta, Shreveport, Louisiana, New Orleans, Macon, Baton Rouge, Hampton, Virginia, okay, Dayton, Ohio, Norfolk, Killeen, Texas, Cincinnati, Ohio, right? If you're in one of these cities or close to one of these cities, right, this is going to work for you, right? Again, this is where the first thing we want to do is we want to focus on areas where, right, there's a high concentration of Black and brown people. Why? Because typically they have a special overextended effort to try to want to help. And so they put higher than normal goals around contracts and participation, right? So what happens is once I tell you where to go to start looking, to start having conversations, you're going to be in those rooms talking to people about contracts and opportunities. And then once you're in the room, they're going to spill everything to you, right? Not thinking that you're going to have the ability to be able to do this stuff. But little do they know is we're going to teach you, right, how to have the ability to do this stuff. So then you can now show up in the rooms and say, hey, I have capacity. Hey, I've got capital. Hey, right? Um, I know how to do this, right? So now there'll be no reason for them to pass you over. And believe it or not, the people that are inside the administrative offices, they look like you. And so while you're gonna find a lot of people that don't want to help you, you're only looking for that one or two people that do want to help you. And so if you keep poking your nose around and you keep showing up and you keep being able to show them that, right, you have all the things that they require and you meet all of the credentials that they require, right? They can't avoid you. And that's my objective, right? Is to make it so they can't get around you, they can't avoid you. And then you're going to find an advocate from what's inside who's going to keep putting your card back on the table. Hey, what about Tabitha? Hey, what about Michelle Carter? Hey, what about Justine? They was in my office the other day. I saw their paperwork. They got all this stuff, right? Y'all got a 40% goal. You got a 30% goal. Call Justine, right? And that's what's going to happen to you, and it's going to be miraculous because it's never happened to you before. And I'm telling you because, again, go back and watch my students. Go back and look on their channel. Look at all the people that are in the construction industry. By the way, construction industry, I want you guys to understand the difference. You don't have to necessarily build a building, right? Construction industry, what does that mean? Like somebody said, painting, floors, right? There are people out here, listen, you could be an interior designer. That's the same construction industry. You can help these people like hospitals, they buy services for people to come in and set up the furniture, remodel it, reorganize it. So you don't have to actually do physical construction. But also, I'm not encouraging anyone on here to do the physical work. I am not encouraging anyone to do physical work. This is not what I'm teaching. So if your intention is to go and physically do the work, this is not for you. Okay. So No, it can't be project management services because you have to actually win the contract in your company's name. The services that you will be doing is project management, but you're not selling project management. You are selling a construction service. However, your role will be to manage the project, correct? Right? So let's talk about it, right? So you will be doing construction management. So let's just use the proper term so we can have conversation. We don't want you go and by the way, middleman is a concept that we teach people talk about online on YouTube. That ain't a concept in real life. So we're gonna start using first we have to start with our vocabulary. So what you're doing is you're it's construction management, right? But you don't even say construction management. You just say construction, even though you are managing the construction project. It's not consulting, it's construction. Okay. So it's not consulting, it's not middleman, it's not construction management, it's construction, right? So I just want to make sure so when you're telling people, and by the way, Michelle, you know what's gonna be really cool is that you're a female, right? Oh, they love women. They may say they don't. They love women because you're not gonna be there's not gonna be any other females in the room. So as long as you're comfortable with that, right? That's one thing that if you're not, you guys got to go back to my video last Sunday where we talked about IQ versus EQ. One thing that you are going to have to get comfortable with is being the only one in the room. That's the thing that I'm going to can't help you overcome. So you got to get really comfortable with being the only one in the room because that's what's going to start to happen to you. However, that's where things are going to change for you as well. So again, to have change, you got to be in uncomfortable situations. To be in uncomfortable situations, right, is where that's where the magic's going to happen, and that's where all this is going to evolve. So again, I'm going to pull back up the list, right? But again, this list, all I did was I googled list of U.S. cities with large Black populations. Here, let me drop it in the chat for y'all. Okay, let me drop it in the chat. List of cities with large Black populations. Yes, hit the like button as well, right? So all I did was I just googled list of cities with large Black populations. That's it. Why did I do that? Because again, these places more and more have goals that supersede normal goals. And check this out. If you're in a city that has a Black population and a state that's primarily Democratic, oh my gosh, it's even worse. Like your chances for failing are almost zero because they are really trying to incentivize helping the less fortunate, the underserved community of folks out here. But again, we are not showing up. We're not coming into the rooms. We're not asking for nothing. Like we're not asking for anything, so the people can't give us anything. So even in areas where it's predominantly the culture and people look like you and I, still not represented on the contract side, right? It's sad. I sat in a meeting in Miami-Dade County. Now, I don't see Miami-Dade County on here. I see Miramar, Florida. I see Miami Gardens. But I sat in Miami-Dade County. I see West Palm on here, Tallahassee, Florida, right? Any one of you guys could do this, right? Miami-Dade County, small business programs, and they had at the time, and again, this was probably 7 years ago, 6 years ago. I think they had one. It was like 1.6% of all their contract spends were with Black contractors. 1%. 1%. I don't think that statistic has changed since that time. Buffalo, New York, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Durham, North Carolina, Tallahassee, Florida, New Haven, Connecticut. If you don't live in that city, you live close to it. If you don't live in a city, live close to it. So let's talk about construction. Let's talk about construction. Let me give you some ideas of what construction, right? What are some of the types of projects we're talking about? Remodeling. Forget basement, painting. Forget no manufacturing, plumbing, paving, roofing, right? Doors, carpentry, demolition. These are just examples. I just put up examples, right? So now, why can you do this? Why is this possible? Why is this possible? Because when you go to your local municipality, when you go to the state, right? When you go to these people, go back and watch John Bowen's story. When you go have these conversations, you are technically just a construction company. So all of these things fall underneath you. You can pick and choose the ones that you would like to do and go after. But how are we going to pick and choose which ones go after? It's going to be based on the quality of the team that you build. So we want to teach you how to start building teams. Someone mentioned earlier, hey, they love my story about the steel buildings, right? So on the steel buildings, if you don't know my story, when I was looking to get in construction, I met an older gentleman and I said to him, hey, I want to do construction, but I don't want to do just generic construction. And so I said, I'm looking for a specialty area to start doing construction with. And he says, well, why not look into metal buildings? Mind you, I never did construction in my life. In my life, I mean, nothing. He says, why don't you do steel buildings? I didn't know what a steel building was. He says, I did it for 30 years. I built a good career for me and my family, took care of us successfully. And I said, okay, well, how do I do it? And so he says, what I'll do is I will help you to build the business because he's a worker and he runs comp crews, but he's not a business person that does paperwork and administrative work. And so he says, if you will agree to do all the administrative side, I will agree to take care of all of the actual contract management side, the work, the estimating, getting the projects done. And then, right, all the contracts will be in my name and I'll pay him fairly according to that. And that was the deal that we worked out. From that one conversation, I went to be the top dealer for a national brand within 3 years. From that conversation, I went on to have $20 million in credit, right, to grow out my steel building company. So these are the things that, again, having the great partner is how you want to decide, right? You don't have to pick a niche. You don't have to pick a specialty. I'm just showing you examples because I want people to understand, right, that to think broader and it's not limited to just one particular specialty area. All right. Um, that's correct. We're going to talk about insurance. Listen, Beckford, I'm not leaving nothing out. I know you need insurance. That's important. That's part of it. So again, we're talking about how to start from scratch. So everything that we're talking about today is how you start from scratch and what do you need to go. And I'm not going to leave anything unturned. Like I said, I've got a checklist already here that, in fact, here I'll share with you guys really quickly because I didn't want like so. Look, I have a checklist of stuff. So we're going to talk about all these things. So again, I wanted to go through my head before we start the conversation, right, of what it is that. So I didn't forget because there's some do's and don'ts and everything like that. So I want to cover those areas as well, and then I want to be able to answer your questions. But before that, I want you to understand kind of the my thought process behind this, right? And I want people to understand why we're even having this conversation because I want you to believe that this is possible. I want you to understand, right, why I'm saying the things that I'm saying because sometimes what I find out with our people and our community is we don't really like to believe a lot of stuff, right? And maybe it's because we've been victimized a lot, maybe because people taking advantage of us. But I want you to be able to do your own research. I want you to be able to have fact-based information. I'm not talking about how I personally feel. So I want to show you data and statistics. Then I want you to go back and do your research so that when you tell that broke family member, cousin, friend, uncle that, hey, I'm going to start a construction business, you don't allow them to discourage you because of their negative thoughts and feelings. And they're trying to project their poverty mindset on you. So I need you to have some ammunition, some fuel, because maybe you're not strong enough to fight off those persons that are going to come and try to shoot down your goals, your dreams, your ideas. I know I tell you to keep it a secret, but it's hard for a lot of you guys to keep it a secret. So given the fact that You can't keep it a secret, and you're going to tell somebody, and likelihood somebody in your spirit is going to try to shoot down these ideas. I want to give you some fuel, some weapons to fight back so that you can justify your actions, your time, and where your energy is going to be spent because that's what's going to take to get here. All right, you with me? So that's why I'm prepping you before we just start spitting out all the facts and all the information, all this data. I want to prep you for the conversation. All right. So I want to do that because we are losing out. By the way, if anybody wants to know where I stand with Charleston White. So I don't know if y'all seen the Cam Newton interview, but our community is losing big time. And it's somebody has to stand up for the community. Somebody. And all of you on here, maybe you're the first one that's going to take the lead and you're going to be the first one to make a difference. And you're going to be the first one to actually come back and create real change for your community, for your neighborhood. So if it had to be me. Y'all saw the pictures of my family trip. My family doesn't even know how to accept help. I took my parents on an all expense trip to Dominican Republic, a villa, and we had people cooking and cleaning and doing everything for us. And they didn't even know how to accept that. My mom still said, should I go in there and cook? Mom, no, you're not here to cook. We don't even know how to accept being in a different position. So many people don't even know how to accept that because they're not used to it. So it feels normal to want to work. It feels normal to wash your clothes. It feels normal to make your own food. It doesn't feel normal for them to have other people do that for them 24 hours a day. It doesn't feel normal for them to have concierge. So we have to teach people how a different way to live. We got to break those habits. You know what? The person who gifted me a lot of these experiences said the reason why he takes us to the most expensive restaurants, tells you to get the most expensive item on the plate, is because we deserve that too. It's not, this is not reserved for people that don't look like us. We deserve the same things, right? We deserve to be able to have that same experiences. And like I told you last week, I took them to all the most expensive places and nobody had to pull out a credit card. And so the thing is, but how do we get here? And how are you going to get there? So I'm going to show you the same things that I did. And I want you to fight for your family. I want you to fight for yourself. I want you to fight for your whoever it is that you think, right, needs to have that experience. That's what I need you to fight for. And that's what I need you to have the belief systems to push back on all the negative energy that people are going to give you because trust me, they 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 waiting for you, right? They waiting for you to have a new idea, a new dream, and they're gonna say, "Ah, here comes Cherie again. She always trying some new stuff." Mark Cuban said, "You only gotta be right once." I don't care if you tried 20 different businesses. I'm impressed. So I'm okay with that. Successful people, they know that you got to try stuff and you got to fail and you got to make mistakes and got to bump your head a couple times. That's how we get there. And even though I'm going to give you everything today, you still going to bump your head. But what's what? That's why we call it experiential learning. This is the point. I can't give you a smooth ride. I can't do that. I can give you all the data, all of the information, all of the tools, all of the resources, but I can't guarantee you a smooth ride. Because if I could guarantee you that, then it's what you're going to earn would have no value. And then at the end of the day, it will be meaningless. So what I can do is I can give you something of value to work towards, something of significance to go after, something that has value, that has meaningful, right? And prosperity. That's what I can give you. And unfortunately, when we make decisions to start businesses, we decide feel good businesses. Wealthy people don't think like that. They go, how big is the marketplace? How big is the market? How big is the opportunity? So if you get a big market with a big opportunity, you could be nobody and still be rich. But if you're in a small market with a small opportunity, even if you're the best, you could still be poor. And so a lot of us, and even on my channel, people come to me and say, I have a mobile notary business. A notary business, I've never seen anyone become a multi-millionaire from a notary business. Not saying they can't. Just never seen it. How are you going to get there selling $5, $10 things? You can't do it. It's just really hard. So sometimes we are not properly trained on how to even think about going after a business or doing something that seems unrealistic or not practical. But guess what? If I'm telling you ain't nobody there, and if we're going after a market that is humongous, that means, again, y'all didn't know me before you too. So how many more people out there that you guys don't know that are quietly, right, getting rich, that are quietly making millions, and you don't even know them? I guarantee you they're probably right around from you. Where I lived at, we had a millionaire next door who did lawnscape, grass cutting, lived right in front of me, Mr. Lester. He had no education, he could not read, he could not write, and he still built a multi-million dollar business. Even after his equipment was stolen multiple occasions, hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment, he was able to buy it back. He's had warehouses since I've known him having warehouses. He's owned real estate and properties and assets. You probably have people in and around your community that you don't know of that are also multimillionaires from the same industry. But because you don't get a chance to talk to them, because you're not paying any attention, right? You have no idea. So I want to expose that. And I want you, most of us on here, and I don't even know you because if you're my age or younger, then you were taught to go to college. So the majority of us on this call, there's 104 people, are probably college educated. And so let's say 70% of you are college educated. So that's 75 of you. By the way, I'm not saying you need a college education at all. All I'm saying is that the majority of us are on here are probably college educated. And so guess what? The people that are in the construction industry are likely not college educated. Do you know that a lot of times they have insecurities also because maybe they did not go to college, right? They have insecurities about that somehow you college educated people, even though you're poorer than them with monetarily, that you know more because you have book smarts. And so even people that are more successful, right, still feel that you as a college educated person can help them in some ways that their lack of education has not. And so this is why this industry to me makes a lot of sense. If you go up into the IT industry with a bunch of other book nerds and you're a book nerd, you're not going to win. But if you go into an industry that's dominated by people that are, for the lack of better words, convicts, criminals, have records, they're probably out of all industries the less educated, and you come in and you have some education, whether it's high school diploma, GED, I don't care, or some basic community college, and we're teaching you how to read and write contracts, then guess what? When you go into these worlds, the people are going to respect you and value you because you have some education. And that's why I always wanted construction because the guys that worked underneath me didn't feel inferior because they knew how to do the work. I knew how to do the paperwork. And that was our deal. And even people who have education, even companies that are successful, guess what? If you are going to these communities that we're talking about with these minority and diversity goals that we're talking about, you still get the lead from the front because they have to meet their goals. And so if they have someone that's a competent, capable black or brown person, they have no problem saying, okay, I'm going to meet my goals through this person who's competent, capable, that I can sit down and have an articulate conversation with. So that's all we're saying, folks. I'm just trying to get you guys in the room so that you can take the skills, the knowledge that whatever $50,000 wasted college degree and turn into a $5 million business. Because nobody's telling you this, because nobody's telling you where to go and what to do. By the way, thank you for that. I'm just trying to step it up so that maybe y'all pay attention if I get out of my hoodies and my sweats. Maybe this is what it takes to get people to start paying attention. So let's go. Let's get into it. So again, when we're looking at, right, 9 industries that will most likely make you a millionaire. Financial services. Again, financial services, you're competing with other educated people, right? So again, what gives you an advantage? You got educate brainiacs against more brainiacs. Technology. I don't knock any industry. I don't knock them. I'm saying you're competing on, right? Like when you go in some of these industries, you're not just competing anymore, um, right? You're now having to go up against the best and the brightest. So financial services, you get Harvard, Yale kids going after that stuff. I'm not saying not to do it. I just say it's hard. Like it's just really hard. I'm talking about stuff for regular people like me. I'm regular. I'm super, super, super regular guy. Y'all see where I come from. I'm regular. I'll pull it up again if y'all want to know. Technology, again, yo, who wants to compete against Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk? I don't have that kind of brain. That ain't for me. So I'm not saying don't do it, but it's like this stuff is hard, right? Healthcare. Okay, cool. But again, sounds like a lot of education, a lot of schooling, right? A lot of stuff that I ain't prepared to do. I want to hit the ground running, right? So if you like me and you want to hit the ground running, then that's what I'm on, right? Real estate. Now check this out. How many of those shows I know y'all watch them because I watch them. So I know y'all be watching them shows with like where they talking about women that always do real estate, right? All these real estate women, when they ask them about their kind of job, and they say, "Oh, I sell real estate. I sell real estate." Y'all see them shows, right? So right, but the flip side of the coin is, right? Forget real estate. You can do construction, right? So they say real estate construction, they lump it in together, right? What I'm saying is, okay, if you were a realtor or have been a realtor, hey, listen, hey, I was a realtor. I was a very successful realtor. I became a realtor and a manager. I made a lot of money in real estate. But y'all, hey, see, RB knows what I'm talking about. The shows all the women talk about they do real estate. I do real estate. I do real estate. I want y'all to switch from saying y'all do real estate to saying I do construction, I do construction, I do construction. Much more impressive to me as a high value man. Again, I'm quote Kevin Samuels. I'm just look. I have other people that I like on YouTube as well, right? Let's switch from saying I do real estate to saying I do construction. How about that? I was a realtor. I made a lot of money in real estate. But guess what I found in real estate? A lot of people are unethical. So let's switch from saying, hey, I do real estate to saying I do construction. That's the vocabulary I want y'all to say. I guarantee you, everybody in the room going to perk up. I can promise you that. If you're a female on here, Nadia, Michelle, Karen, if you're a female on here and you go to a room and somebody asks what you do, you say you do construction. Oh yeah, Gilbert, I did quote the Godfather. If you say I do construction, people are going to change the dynamics. That's what happens to Maria every time. That's what happens to Lisette every time. That's what happens to Sheena and Stephanie every time. If you say I do construction instead of I do real estate, watch how quickly the dynamics change in the room. It ain't gonna be the same. They're not gonna look down on you, they're gonna look up at you and towards you. Exactly. Now they're gonna talk to you. Saying you do real estate is not impressive, right? Oh, I go with real estate, blah blah. Yeah. Uh, say that you do construction and watch what happens. People are gonna perk up, they're gonna lean in. And like, what'd you say? Oh yeah, I'm in construction. You dressed like in a dress? Yeah, me. Yeah. So you see already just saying that, you see how it feels differently. It hits differently. And so if it hits differently already with me and you, and we already know it's gonna hit differently on other people, but we haven't even done anything except change our vocabulary. We haven't done anything except change our vocabulary. That's it, right? So now we want to say, hey, I do construction. What kind of construction? Oh, all types. Really? All types, yeah. All types of construction. Hey, I'm looking for good partners. Do you know anybody? All right. So let's get into my list, right? I'll get into my list. Let's get into my list. Let's get into my list. All right. And we'll go through this. I'll get in my list. All right. So we obviously know, right? We're gonna need a corporation. LLC is fine. Don't matter. I always advise people, right? When you set up your LLC, make it generic. Make it generic. Make it generic. Make it generic. Okay. Make it generic. I saw this quote today, which I thought was interesting, that I'm going to share. That says, because a lot of us, right, um, right, we all grew up in a church, and I saw this quote from this guy. He said, and this is important, right? If you're demonizing something, he says we're talking about money here. He says if you're demonizing something, you're never going to achieve it, right? We talk about demonizing money, right? Because they say money is the root of all evil, but it's then we go in, people say, oh well, the love of money, right? And so a lot of people, especially those that come from a spiritual background, is so he said if you're demonizing something, you're never going to achieve it. So you cannot demonize money. And he went on to say, try doing God's work without money. And he says the devil has been good at convincing kingdom warriors that poverty is somehow righteous. As a consequence, people who work for the devil have money to do his work, and people who do God's work have no money to spread the word. Hey, baby. Hey, you know what's funny? I'm telling my son was watching me last week, and he said, Dad, this is how you talk to me all the time. I said, I know, but for some reason, I wasn't talking to my YouTube people like this. This is how I talk all the time. Okay? This is how I speak. As a person who my mom was saved at 13 years old, when I show her pictures, when I was shooting for my dreams, and I said, Mom, I want this apartment. I want this place in Brickell. She said to me, God's going to come strike us down. Whoa. Whoa. So my mother told me this. So I know what y'all going to face when y'all go out there and start telling people what you're trying to do, what you're trying to have, what you want to experience. I know what you're up against because I have a praying mom and I love to death. But for her to see the wealth at that time in her life, she says, "Hey, that's too rich. What kind of how is that possible for other people but not for us?" So y'all want me to say that again? The devil has been good at convincing kingdom warriors that poverty is somehow righteous. And as a consequence, people who work for the devil have money to do his work, and people who do God's work have no money to spread the word. So we got to stop demonizing money. So let's change that. Let's change it because when you go out here and you start talking to people, I'm telling you what you're going to be up against. I'm trying to tell you. Listen. I want this for you as bad as you want it for yourself, but I'm telling you, they're going to be attacking you from all sides, and it's up to you to fight back and to push back and allow their poverty mindset to overtake, right, your strength and your will to want to be different, to change, and have a better situation for you, your family. I'm telling you, don't let them do it to you, right? Oh, by the way, he went on to say, right, in the same quote, and you know, and I'm just gonna give it to you. He said that, and I gotta find that video, but he says that in the Bible that he read, it said, "Occupy the land, occupy the marketplace." And so again, if you want the scripture, that you go to Luke 19:13. But let's go back to the conversation, right? So I just want you to, I gotta say these things because I know what's gonna happen to you. I know what's gonna, until I could feel it. It happened to me, so it can't. You're not exempt. So I know what's gonna happen to you, right? That's why I said we're in a prison of our own minds. They keep telling you that money is real. Money's not real. Money's invented. It's fake. All this money is fake. So for you to have a lot of it, it's something that's not real anyways. It's something that you create from your mind. So let me help you reshape your mind so that we can create that for you guys so then you can see it. And when you see it and you feel it, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But until then, you got to fight back and push back on all these people, what they're doing to you. Right? Thank you, down to earth. That's why you're cautious what you listen to. Me too. That's why I don't take in everybody's energy. That's why I don't have notifications to my phone. That's why I don't subscribe to it. Listen, that's why I can't watch the news. So let me say that. All right. So let's go back. Let's go back. So do not be afraid to ask for help. So again, construction blueprint, corporation, insurance, bonding, licensing, right? Don't be afraid of none of this stuff. Don't be afraid of anything on this screen. Okay. LLC, most of you guys already have an LLC. You got that part done. Easy. Insurance. Don't worry about insurance yet. But keep it in mind, you're going to have to get insurance to qualify. You can get the cheapest insurance that exists, right? So you can buy an insurance policy for your company that's 500 or 600 bucks for the year. If you got a car, you pay insurance. I never understood why people would ask me for advice on how to buy a house, but not to buy a car, and their car costs more money than some of the houses that I bought. People buy $100,000 car and don't ask you nothing. I tell somebody about $50,000 house, they want to ask me everything in the world. Hey, why is somebody selling 50,000? What's all wrong with the house? Why I gotta do that? What is wrong with you people? You have insurance on your cars. It's the same difference. Don't get deterred by that. Somebody, that's the first thing somebody wrote. What about insurance? Everybody here got a car, has the insurance in their car. It's not a big deal. 500 bucks get you insurance for policy for the entire year. $500. Hey, I want general liability insurance. Okay. How much your policy? 1,000. Eric says it's too expensive. Call around until you find one. You don't have a policy 500 bucks? Yeah, I got one, but it's only this, and that. Okay, cool. You just need a policy, right? Bonding. Don't worry about bonding yet. You don't need bonding tomorrow. You don't need it right away. Eventually, you'll need bonding, right? But we're gonna get there. This is a list, right? This is saying the things that you will need, not that you need them immediately. Is that we understanding that? So these are not things that you need today. These are things that you will need. But we're going to talk about all these things so that you're aware because I want you to have this in your mind. So again, corporation, insurance, 500 bucks. Bonding. You don't need bonding today. But what you do need, right, is you're going to need a CPA, right, an accountant that actually works with construction companies. Again, this is all free stuff. This is all free stuff. Look what somebody said. My business insurance is 41 bucks a month. That's 500 a year. 41 a month times 12 is $480 plus the extra 12. It's actually 480 plus 12 is 492. I mean, I couldn't. I'm telling you, that's 492, right? So don't be discouraged, right? License it, all right? Now, check this out. There are many states, right, that you don't need a license to do construction, right? There's many states that you don't need a license to do construction. I had it originally pulled up. Okay. So there's states where you don't need license to do construction. There's also, right, uh, there's different types of projects that don't require you to do license as well. So don't be discouraged about not having a license, right? Because this is the thing. We're going to go after opportunities first, right? And then we're going to figure out how to back into those opportunities. I've had situations where students of mine won contracts and they did not have insurance, and we used the insurance of the subcontractor to do the work. So they still didn't even buy a policy. Hey, Beckford, don't worry. Listen, listen, you cannot put blanket statements on the whole state. I feel you. You might be a little upset at California, but we can get around them. Everybody, look, it don't matter. Where there's a will, there's a way. And that's the point we're showing today. So, by the way, in the federal world, you do not need a license to do construction. For federal contracts, you do not need a license to do construction. For federal contracts, you do not need a license to do construction. Y'all got it? All right. So again, Beckford, in California, there are federal facilities that you can work on that you don't need a license to construction. And you don't need to listen to whatever California says. If they're pissing you off or they're stupid, then you could do projects, right, at the federal level. So again, don't be discouraged by that, right? Now, what we want to do, right? This is the plan that I have for everybody here, right? This is important. We want to target areas, cities, municipalities where there's predominantly black and brown people in leadership. Why is this important, right? It's important because we're looking for an advocate. We're looking for people that are pushing to get more participation amongst the underserved communities. So wherever you are, you want to find that place. Again, if you the easiest way that I found is to simply look at cities, right? There's a majority of us living. And so when I went back and I looked at these cities here, okay, right? These were the cities that I found. By the way, Inglewood is on the list in California. So look, Ricardo says, in Ohio, you don't need a license for state or federal. EP, listen, the reason why you're here today is to learn differently, right? I know what your previous experiences taught you. That's why we're here. EP, do me a favor. If you do exactly this, right? I want to hear your story when it turns out. Okay. So now, right? Hey, Yvette, thank you for telling the people. For federal contracts, you don't need a license to do construction. All right, now check this out. So again, we want to focus on areas, right, where they are a lot of black and brown people. They ain't never met their goals. Someone says New York. New York is amazing. New York has some of the best diversity programs in the country. Somebody mentioned New York up here. I saw New York on my list. I saw a bunch of cities in New York. I saw, let's see, what was in New York? Now, again, I'm not saying you can only do here. I'm not saying only. There's no only. Remember this. No state or city has ever met their goals. I'm just trying to get us more favorable odds. So I'm really trying to say, if someone, the problem that we have, and again, yes, I'm going to quote a lot of Kevin Samuels because he makes a lot of sense, is that somehow we want to be guaranteed results before we take action. And that's hard to do. But I'm giving you all the data and the facts to make the best decisions. But somehow in our community, we want Eric to say, if you move to Inglewood, California, you're going to be a multi-millionaire construction company. I can't guarantee you that. But I can say that the data, the statistics, the fact that they don't have anybody, the fact that they have a higher diversity spend than other people, that leads to, right, if you're doing all these other things, you're putting yourself in the best possible position to win. Does that make sense, everybody? So all I'm saying is that based on the data of these industries turn out millionaires, the people there are not competition because a lot of people in the industry are boomers. The fact is that a lot of people that you're competing with don't have a high education. The fact is that the people that do have an education are the big companies that they can't qualify for some of these projects. And the only reason they're getting them is because you guys aren't showing up. So this is what I'm saying. So I'm putting you in the best possible position to win all the way around. And I'm giving you all the things around it that are going to help you to be able to succeed. And you're going to take the same information, right, when you go talk to people. Because I'm not just saying where to go, I'm saying what to do. So again, let's look at it, right? So number 5, we're gonna target areas, municipalities with predominantly black and brown people. Number 6, we're gonna build your contractor database. All right, how are we gonna build a contractor database? What does that mean? That means you're going to, again, Michelle, you're in construction now, not real estate. All right, say it with me, Michelle, you're in construction. So what does that mean? Now, and by the way, uh, anybody, do I have it here? I'm gonna grab this book for you guys. Where is it at? I think I put it up. I'm trying to find this book. All right, I put this book up. But either way, you guys realize that you could just say anything and be that. Y'all understand that? I hope that the 110 people watching and the thousands that are going to watch it later realize that. You can literally make a decision today and say, I'm in construction. And guess what? You are in construction. Nobody can't tell you you're not. You don't have to be forced to do or to think or believe what other people tell you. You can make the decision, hey, I'm in construction today. And that's it. You're in construction now. That's it. So guess what? Michelle's in construction. People forget this. People forget that they somehow sense that they're like regulated to I'm a telemarketer, I'm a call center answerer. No, I'm in a construction business. I'm in a construction industry. Somehow we forget that we can just say this stuff and it happen. Like you have that ability to manifest this stuff. And you guys are not using it. You're not doing it. Give me one second. Let me try to find this real quick. Let me try to find this thing. This book. Hold on. Bam! I got it. This is the book. This is what I was looking for everybody. This is the book. James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. That's what I was looking for. Anybody, look, this book is this big. All right. Y'all see it? Okay. Thought and actions are the makers of fate. So if you've never read this book, go pick it up. I promise you, you can read it in one setting. That's what I was looking for. But we forget that. So you have the book, but you forget to do the things that the book says. So you have it, you read it, you processed it, you went on about your life. You forgot it. Go back and read it again. All right. So listen, what we're going to do, because you're in the construction industry now, right? We want to start building your contractor database up. What does that mean? So you're going to need to be successful partners, right? Subcontractors. You're going to need a database of electricians and plumbers and roofers and those kind of people that actually get the work done. And because you're in the construction industry now, right, you're going to start going to construction industry events. So you're going to go to site visits and job sites. You're going to go to walkthroughs. You're going to go to industry events. You want to start building your dream team. And so what you want to say, right here, can somebody write the name of the book in the chat, please, for them, so I can keep talking? So what you want to say is, hey, my name is, and I'm going to use Michelle since she's been very active today. I'm Michelle Carter with, M&G Construction. MC Construction, or MC. I don't want to say construction. My company's called Evan Coffie, which is for my middle last name. So let's say you're, let me think of a company name for Michelle Carter. Let's say Michelle's company is MC Services. There you go. MC. Do I like that name? No, I don't like services. Yeah. All right. MC Services or MC. What's Maria's company's name? Oh, Maria's company name is MJ Global. There you go. So we can call you. So Maria's company's name is called MJ Global. So you could be MC Global, Michelle, right? So now my name is Michelle. I'm an MC. I'm an MC Global, right? And again, you don't have to say you're a woman. You don't say you're a minority. I don't know why do we keep saying that. That is, by the way, that you want to know how you turn people off. Say stuff like that. That's a turn off. Don't say that stuff. People can look at you and see you black. They can look at you and see you Spanish. They can see you as minority. They can see you a woman. You don't have to say I'm a woman, minority, blah blah blah. Don't say that. That's just retarded. You're trying to be inviting, and remember, you're going to places and spaces where people may already have some prejudice and say that you're looking for a handout. So don't go in there telling people that you're a minority. Just hey, MC group, right? And we're a local based construction company out of let's see, Michelle, where are you from? Where did you say you're out of? Miami Gardens. So hey, I'm Michelle Carter with MC Global out of Miami Gardens, Florida. And we're looking at DMV. Okay, right. So you're out of whatever the area is. So then you're saying, hey, we're looking to build up our contractors database for good contractors, roofers, plumbers, electricians, stuff like that, blah blah blah. Right? Would you be interested if we had a project? We'd give you a call to look at some of our projects to see if you could price it out. That's it. So you start building up your database of contractors. And so that way, when an opportunity comes up, right, then you have people to call to give you pricing. Someone asked earlier, how do we get pricing? Well, if you start going to more site visits and visiting these projects, you will meet the people and the people will start to know you, Michelle, because you're in the construction industry now and they're going to start seeing your face all the time. And then when they start seeing you, when you give them a call and you say, hey, Tom, I've got this roofing job over here. You guys told me you're great roofers. Can you give me a price? Tom's gonna be like, absolutely, Michelle. I was waiting for your call. I'll be happy to give you a price. Does that make sense? Yes. Thumbs up if it makes sense, right? So we need to start building our contract database. By the way, so far, right, we said I'm a construction company. How much did that cost you? Zero. You already have an LLC. If you don't, it costs you a couple $100. You are the insurance is $500. CPA is free. License no none needed if you're doing federal. What are we spending so far? Now we're talking about our time. So we're gonna go to site visits. We're gonna go visit projects, and we're gonna show up and we're gonna say I'm a construction company, and we're looking for subcontractors, and you're gonna get everybody's cards who are subcontractors to the project. And you'll know who the subs are because they're gonna give you Michelle. They're gonna give you your card before you even ask them for it. Because once you say I'm a contractor, construction company, all of the people that are not construction companies want to give you their cards. They're gonna come to you and say, "Hey, Michelle, what do you do?" You say, "Oh, I'm a construction company." Now they're gonna say, "Are you gonna bid this as a prime?" You said, "Yes." Are you bidding it as a prime? Yes. Right. So what does that mean? So in construction, we have prime contractor and subcontractor. Right? Prime contractor and subcontractor. So let's look at that. So what does that mean? That means you are going to be the one that actually that gets the project. So here's an example of what that looks like, right? So where's that picture at? I had a cute little picture that he took away. All right, I'll go back. Here it is right here. So this is the picture. So basically, the government gives the contract to the prime contractor, and then you hire subcontractors below you. So you're going to say to them, "Yes, I'm going to be a prime contractor in this project." That's it. By the way, we haven't done anything yet. And guess what they're going to do, Michelle? They're going to give you their cards, and you're going to take the cards, and you're going to start building your database of subcontractors. That makes sense? Anything I said so far does not make sense. Please let me know. So Joanne says, where do you find free CPAs? So Joanne, um, CPAs cost you nothing until you actually use their services. So they're all free until you use them. All you're doing is going to find the CPA. You didn't actually engage him or hire him for anything yet. You just went and found him. So every CPA is free until you actually use them for something. So the point I was saying was you want to go out, right, and you want to find a construction-based CPA. Remember, the things that I'm giving you are the things that you're going to need for your future business as you're developing it. So I'm helping you with the planning phases as well as understanding what all you need A to Z, whether or not you need it today. Does that make sense? So I just want people to know all the things they need so that you don't say, well, Eric made this whole video about construction blueprint and forgot CPA. No, I didn't forget anything. Um, so now, so someone says, what convention did you say attend? All right. So I didn't say attend any conventions. I said you want to attend site visits. You want to go to site visits for construction projects because you're now a construction company. So if you go to your town and you are a vendor, your town is going to have construction site visits and you're going to attend them. And you're going to say, okay, hey, there's this whatever project being built in my town. When is the site visit? And you're going to show up to the site visit. And when people ask you, you're going to put down, I'm Michelle with MC Global, and I'm going to bid as a prime contractor. And people are going to give you their business cards. Remember, now, this is a great question, Michelle. So Michelle says, I have a CPA that's familiar with GovCon. I can ask him if he has construction. You have to, okay, everybody listen to me. This is a mandatory. All right, remember what I said in the beginning. Don't stray from my list. Don't stray from my list. You have to do things exactly the way that we're saying it. Otherwise, it may not work for you. I said, get a construction CPA. The reason why you want a construction CPA is because when we get bonding, there's a certain way that the construction CPA prepares the financials to get bonding. A normal CPA, even though they're in GovCon, it doesn't do construction, will not get your financials the way that the bonding guy needs to see them. It's a different language, even though financials are financials. One speaking to the construction, like what the bonding company needs to see, and the other one is speaking to like maybe what a government person wants to see. They're not the same. The second reason why you want a construction CPA is because you want. Do you guys know? Do y'all know some of the secrets of the rich and the wealthy are? You get the CPA that has millionaire clients. You get the CPA that has millionaire clients. A CPA is not just for doing financials. The CPA is the biggest connector, the biggest network person that you will have access to. They are the best connectors in the world. My CPA has every mistake that I've made in construction because my CPA had clients that were doing. I picked my CPA because his customers did $30 and $40 million of construction. So there's nothing that he ain't seen. So when I went out, right, when I was choosing how to get a CPA, I said, look, I want a CPA that has the kind of customers that I want to become one day. So if he doesn't have customers that do 30, 40 million, I don't want him. Right now, I'm choosing a CPA for GovCon Giants, the nonprofit. My requirement is that they have customers that do $10 million or more in nonprofit donations. If my CPA don't do that, then I don't want him because he gonna have to hook me up. And I'm not saying make introductions, but Guess what? He can tell me where they go, what galas they're at, what functions they're in, what boards they sit on, because all this is in part of you going to the Millionaires Club. So in order to get there, you got to start talking to people who know other people that are there. So it's not good enough to get your cousin them and Uncle Al and them CPA and your mama brother and the guy who sit at the church who does CPA on the side. That's not good enough. We got to get people that work with people who we want to be around and associate with. And so that's the point of the whole story that I'm telling you today is why I'm saying not just don't let people discourage you because Eric is telling you some stuff that I've lived. And so this works everywhere in the country. Pick a CPA that's already working at companies that do 30 or $40 million in construction. That's the CPA you want. That's the CPA you want, right? If you don't know, right, look up the board of CPAs. Call them up. Call up the board of accountants. Now, how did I find my CPA? By the way, I've had like 6 or 7 CPAs, maybe 10. I can't even keep count. But my first 3 in my first business, I had to fire them because when I needed to get bonding, all my financials were bad. And I paid these people tens of thousands of dollars just to give me bad financials. But because I'm not an accountant, then I didn't know any better. So once I learned these tricks, then I started implementing them in my own business. And so now I'm telling you, again, you're gonna hit some bumps in the road, you're gonna hit your head, but this is not an area where I'm gonna let you fail. So I'm gonna save you over here. So you go bump your head someplace else, but I'm saving it up front. So now everything that I do in my business, that's the requirement. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you because this just happened to me recently. Randy, who works for me, y'all know Randy Ward? So Randy, okay, I'm gonna show you a conversation between Randy and I. This is, oops, sorry, it's the wrong screen share. Hold on. I'm gonna show you this conversation between Randy and I, where this is how I make. You guys gonna see how I make decisions. All right. So this is our conversation, Randy and I, and so Randy says Alchemy's accounting firm, CRE has a nonprofit division. I have 2 other companies I could share. Okay, and on here, this is our accounting firm for Alchemy. You see what this says? It says their clients with annual revenues up to 1.3 billion, assets up to 3.6 billion. They're not-for-profit clients with a total of 690 million in federal grant expenditures. That's how Eric chooses his accountant. Not based on friends, family, fools, not based on who I like, not based on what they look like. Show me what you done did. Then I can rock with you. If you rocking with people, if their clients do 1.3 billion, you deserve to be my accountant. You could be my CPA for my nonprofit. That's how I pick my people. Assets 3 billion, not-for-profit clients, 690 million federal grants. So you want to know how Eric Coffee pick his people? This is how I do it. I ain't picking them based on feelings and emotions. Nah, screw that. We try to make money, man. We try to get money, baby. This is how you do it. This is stuff people not telling you. This could save you a lifetime of pain. This is how you vet people. My team knows this. This is how I train my team. You see Randy sitting in this. No, we don't pick people because of who they are, who they related. I don't care about none of that stuff, man. Yo, we try to make a difference in this world for our people. That's how we get it. Hey, they can wait. Them other people can wait later. That's how we gonna get it. That's how we get here. Y'all understand? That's why I'm teaching y'all how to get to the back. My stuff is different than what other people teaching y'all. They tell how to flip and middleman, all this kind of stuff. No, man. Listen, if you're gonna pick somebody, pick the best. Pick somebody who's gonna help you get to your goal faster. Remember, it's called Think and Grow Rich. As a man thinking. So I'm not teaching y'all how to work hard. I'm teaching how to just take a shortcut in life. Y'all don't work hard enough. How much more hard work do y'all want to do? Y'all want to work hard your whole life? Come on, man. Yeah, how much more hard work do y'all think that you need to do before you can become successful? So I'm just telling you, as a person who, again, who's lived this experiences, I'm telling you what I believe. Y'all want to keep struggling? Keep struggling. I'm out. Y'all want to keep working hard and make a little bit of money? Keep struggling. I'm out. I'm not doing that. This company already represents $1 billion in clients. By the way, um, I just found a person to help me with grants, right? And so the person I'm going to hire to run GovCon Giants and lead in the grant efforts, their requirement is they have to have managed $100 million portfolio. So guess what? By the way, I thought that this was weeks ago. So I started looking online at LinkedIn to find people who had ran grants programs that exceeded $100 million. And guess what? You know what happened to me last week? Someone came to me and offered to help me to set up my grants program. And guess what? They had managed a portfolio of $100 million. I thought it into existence. I manifested it. Hey, you got to start here. Like you said, hey, Chris Burke, I want to get the struggle bus. Yeah, it's not even a struggle bus anymore. It's the crazy bus because I don't even know why y'all like being on it. It's almost like the crazy bus because you're not giving yourself enough time and space to be able to think. I walk 5 miles every day to the beach, to the ocean. I take in the fresh air. Hey, sometimes I stick my hand in the sand, stick my toes in the sand. I have the time to sit back and think of all these crazy ideas and then watch them happen. So now, the reason why, that's why you pick a CPA. I had to stay on that topic because I saw people trying to get off track. These steps are critical. They're imperative to your success. They're not, it's not like this is imperative to your success. This is what's going to separate you from having to take 10 years to build up this construction business to 2 years to build a construction business. Do you think that if you work with a CPA that helps represent the top construction companies in your city, USA, wherever you're at, and then you decide to hire that construction guy, I mean that CPA, to be your CPA, your accountant, do you believe that there's some advice or information they're going to give you to help you leapfrog past your competition? Do you believe that they've seen things, experienced things that they've been able to do for their 40, 50, $60 million client that maybe they could do for you? Do you think that? Do you think that? Do y'all believe that? Don't you think that the person who works with people who are doing 50, $60 million a year, when you come into them, have seen something, a step, a journey, a path, a process that they can implement, that they can tell you like this to help change your life forever? But yet, you're like, you want to go and save because you're looking at the cost and the money and you're worried about it, but you're not valuing your time. And so, what I'm here to do is to tell you to value your time because your time, what they said, money you can always get back, but time. Anybody has gone backwards in age yet? Has anybody on this call gone backwards in age? So we can always get back the money. We can't get back the time. So you're valuing the wrong thing. And that's how we're taught. We're taught to value the wrong, you know what? So we keep being taught to value some of the stuff that don't have value. And then we devalue the stuff that has the most value. So we value money over our time when the time is the stuff you can't get back in money. People have every book in the world tells you get back money. Anybody know a billionaire that died recently? Anybody read Steve Jobs' final parting words? Do y'all know what Steve Jobs said, his final parting words? Anybody know that? Anybody know what Steve Jobs said? All right. Steve Jobs said, even all the money in the world could not buy him good health. Steve Jobs said, even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. Ooh. Even people that want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet death is a destination that we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be because death is very likely the single best invention of life. And y'all are sitting back worried about the money and not the time. And you're losing time every day. The saddest thing that I ever seen was when I worked at Miami-Dade County and people could count down how many years and days and hours they have left before retirement. 15 years, 22 days, and 3 hours before I retire. You're already dead. Your soul is dead. Your body hasn't caught up to your soul, but you're already dead. That's right. Charlie Munger just died. He couldn't take any of the money with him. So again, let's talk about this, right? So I want y'all to understand we don't have a lot of time. We can't be playing with this. This is not a subject that we play with. This is not something we got time to play with. You can't put it off for next week. You can't put it off till you look. People, someone told me, and it's hurtful to me because I really care about y'all. Someone said they couldn't buy my course because they had to buy Christmas gifts for their kids. Even though the course is going to teach you how to be able to buy gifts year round for your kids, it's going to help you to be able to grow your organization or business so that you don't have to save for Christmas. You don't have to put stuff on layaway for Christmas. But they could not figure out how to prioritize, right, the thing that they need for the thing that they wanted. So guess what? They're going to still be in that situation next year and the year after and the year after because they continue to basically put value on the thing that's keeping them in that situation and not putting enough emphasis and value on the thing that's going to take them out of the situation. And so, how many of you are out there saying are doing the same thing? So, let's go back to my list. Right, we're targeting areas and municipalities where it's predominantly Black and Black-owned people. We're going to build our contractor database. Right, site visits, industry events to start building your dream team. All right, y'all see that? You want to build your dream team. That's what we're working on. Okay. Once you have them, promise that you will make them a ton of money together, right? Make sure you tell people that. People want to know this. People want to know this, right? You can't just say, hey, John, Jason, come support my efforts. I'm this small business. Like Jay said, someone told me they couldn't get the program, but they're going to pick up a new car. I'm cool. Listen. All right. So listen, you have to tell people that you want to make a ton of money together. You got to say that. People don't know. Okay. Listen, do me a favor. I want y'all to do this. Write in the description, right? What you're going to tell your subconscious when you meet them. When you go to a site visit and you go to a walkthrough, tell them, I want you to write what you're going to tell them. All right. Because you have to give people a reason to want to work with you. Your looks is not good enough. Meeting a diversity goal is not good enough. You know what people care about? Money. That's what they care about, money. That's it. And that's what you should care about, money. And your relationship is based on that. Hey, what's our bond? It's money. Our bond is money. We're gonna make a lot of money together. That's hey, thank you, Operation. Hey, we're making money over here. That's what we came to do. That's what when you get these people, when you give these guys, hey, look, hey guys, I just want to let you know real quick, I'm all about making money. So if you're not in that plan, I can't rock with you. I tell people that. I have no problem saying that to people. See, Justine said, let's see if we're a good fit. Nah, we're a good fit if we make money. We're a bad fit if we don't make money together. See, y'all trying to change my words. You see why I tell people to write the stuff in here? Because you guys are going to go off and you're going to tell somebody, right? You're going to go to a job site and you're going to tell this person that does not look like you, who has been doing this for 20 years, that let's see if we're a good fit. And you know what he's gonna tell you? Go F yourself. That's what he's gonna tell you. Because I don't need your so and so stuff here anyways. And I don't want your no. But if you tell somebody gonna make a lot of money, they don't say go F yourself. They say, whoa, baby, where you been at my whole time? I've been waiting on you. So don't again, I'm telling y'all the reason why I write this stuff, y'all think that everybody hears me loud and clear. That's why I'm repeating myself. That's why I haven't moved on. I could have finished this less than an hour ago if I want to just get to the point. I'm getting here because I need to repeat myself so that y'all get the message. Okay. So someone says, hold on. Someone said, Eric, there's a front address mic. It should be pointing at your mouth. Like this? Is that how I should do it? Thank you, Dr. Elo. Michelle said, thank you for giving me a car. It's great connecting to you. We're going to make a lot of money together. That's what people want to hear. I'm telling you what people want to hear. You can tell them whatever else you feel like in your heart, but I'm telling you what people want to hear. Tell them whatever you feel like. I don't care. I'm just telling you what works for me and what people want to hear. Lakeisha said, hey, I want us to make a ton of money together. Thank you, Lakeisha. That's a nice way of putting it. Hey, John, it was great meeting you, today on the project. I'm looking forward to us making a ton of money together. Hey. Let me see what she says. Hey, I have been diversification in real estate very important. I believe through establishing a great merger, investing in strategic plan, we can do great together. That's nice. I think, again, that's nice. I skip past the BS and tell people I'm a prime contractor and together we will make a ton of money. Yeah. Hey, listen, and again, if you do your part, I do my part. I'm looking forward to having a great relationship and making a bunch of money with you. Maybe you're not used to saying that. That's okay. I get it. But I'm just telling you, you're going to be in a male-dominated industry, predominantly white males, and they're not going to care about who you are or anything outside of making money. And so if you don't, at some point, get to that conversation, they're going to lose interest in you really quickly. I'm telling you how to communicate. Do whatever you like, but I'm telling you, when they don't call you back and when they're not responsive, you're going to say, well, what did wrong? I did everything Eric said. No, you didn't, because you didn't say to the person that you were going to make money with them. And if you don't tell people that, then they feel like you're lying and you're trying to be deceitful, right? You need to be honest. I hope that everybody is watching me because they want to make a lot of money. I hope you're not watching me for any other reason than the fact that you want to make money. I am not a relationship coach. I don't teach you how to play any type of instrument. I don't teach you how to play sports. So the only reason that you should be here watching me on this show is to make money. I don't know any other reason why people would watch me. Because the only thing I talk about is getting contracts and making money. That's the only thing I talk about. So if you're not here for that, then why are you here? And so if we're not going to be transparent with the people who we're going to do business with, then what are we doing? We're lying to them. Don't BS the people. Go straight to the point. They're motivated by money too. They're not motivated by they don't need more friends. They don't want to invite you to their house to have turkey dinner. They don't. Even if they invite you, they don't want you there. They're just being nice. Skip beating around the bush. Tell the people, let's make money. Hey, let's see how we can make money. So again, I'm just telling you, people are not going to connect with you unless you be real with them and you talk to them like the way they talk. Because these some rough talking people. They rough now. They they're gonna say they're gonna talk political, they're gonna make political comments that you may not like. So go back to my last video, IQ versus EQ. You're gonna deal with that. You might see some racist stuff, that not racist necessarily towards you, but it might be racist to another group. So if you get offended by somebody making a racist comment towards another group, because they're not gonna make a racist comment towards your group while in your presence, but they might make it towards another group. This is look, this is the industry that This is what this industry is about. Again, they're not necessarily the most upstanding citizens of America. Just telling you, they're not the most. You're not going into a place where people are noted for being the uh, the best behaved, the most well spoken, the most articulate. You're not walking into that type of environment. So just be prepared for the type of environment that you're walking into and understand that. And frankly, that's how America used to be everywhere, and until we changed it. And so now we those people didn't go away. In fact, a lot of y'all probably have a little bit of racism that y'all say as well, but you do it behind closed doors and you think it's appropriate because you're only talking about a specific set of people. Most people say inappropriate stuff. Yeah, that includes you and your family, but it's okay because you're only saying about your group or your people or about your girlfriends, about your whatever it is. So you deem that as appropriate. But then you go and be critical of the other person for doing something because you don't find it appropriate because it's something that goes against what you think or you believe or your understanding. So that's okay. Many times Maria had said to me, "Hey, these guys are talking about this and that." It's fine. Listen, I have people talk about both sides of the presidential thing. I don't I don't care to hear about any of it, to be honest with you. I don't want to hear about Biden no more than I want to hear about Trump. I don't even like any of this stuff. So I don't care to hear about none of this stuff. But learn to play the game because the people have access to what you want and what you need. And at some point, when we get enough, and if we ever can figure out how to work together, then we can have our own stuff. But until then, we're at the mercy of other people who have everything that we're trying to get. So if you don't if you don't want what they have, then don't go where they're at and don't play the game that they're making us play. But if you're trying to get a little bit of something what they have, we got to go along with it. We're not Elon Musk. We can't say F everybody who doesn't want to support us. We don't get that luxury. I don't get the luxury to say F all you guys. If the business fails, screw it. We'll see how it plays out in world court or whatever. We don't get that luxury. So again, I taught you last week. If you find it's inappropriate, if people ask you what political party you're affiliated with, ask them what do they affiliate with, and said me too. That's the way we answer questions. It's yeah. Well, Justin, last week we talked about EQ versus IQ. So let's get back to it. All right. So now we're going to start building our dream team. Now, number 7, super, super important. I want everyone to start attending Economic Development Corporation meetings. I'm gonna put this in here. All right. This is super, super important. Every city, every city has an Economic Development Corporation. I want you to go to the meetings. Okay. I happen to pull this up because New Jersey was on my list. So I went in and pulled this up for New Jersey, right? So just to kind of prove some of the stuff I was talking about, I pulled this up, right? New Jersey. So if you type in New Jersey City Economic Development Corporation, right here, Jersey City Economic Development Corporation. All right. The mission of Jersey City Economic Development Corporation is to promote and facilitate economic development through Jersey City. Right. So then, just one example. Right. I want you to start attending Economic Development Corporation meetings. All right. So go find the local Economic Development Corporation. Go to their meetings. Go to the meetings. Go to the meetings. Right. Every city has it. When I was looking up Jersey, like I said, it was on my list, and so I want you guys to attend. I put in Newark. Look at this. If you type in New Jersey Economic Development Authority, it says county goals for minority and women workforce participation construction. Look at this. Look at Union County. I want y'all to see this. All right. I want you guys to see this. All right. This is a percentage goal. Do y'all see what this number say down here for Hudson County? Can y'all read that? Do y'all see that goal number? 60%. 60%. Union County, 45% goal. How the hell can y'all not succeed? How do you not succeed with a 60% goal? Y'all killing me. How do you not succeed with a goal of 60% participation? And they still can't hit their numbers. They giving away stuff. 45% participation in Union County, 36% in Passaic, 30% Middlesex, 24. I mean, how do y'all not make it? Chris, absolutely not. I'm getting there, Chris. How do y'all not make it? So what are we going to do, everybody? What are we doing, right? We are Economic Development Corporation meetings. Chris went ahead and jumped ahead. Chris, I want you to read number 9. Chris, join, and we've already skipped 8. I'm going to go back to 8 because Chris said, Eric, would it be good to join the Chamber of Commerce? Number 9, I'm going to make it big, Chris, because I knew y'all going to ask this. See, I know the question y'all going to ask. Number 9, Chris, for you. Join a local organization, not a chamber. Do not join Chamber of Commerce. Don't join the Black Chamber of Commerce. Don't join the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Do not join a chamber. The majority of them are garbage and a waste of time. Preferably something called a council where people have influence sit. So you want to look for councils. Councils is the key word. Now, I didn't want to answer Chris' question, but number 8, I want you to find a local community development corporation and see how you can help them. So, number 8. Number 7, Economic Development Corporation meetings. Start going. Number 8, find a local community development corporation. See how you can help them. These words that I'm using are super, like, again, don't change the words. Look for exactly what I'm telling you. Put that in there and put your city. Find it. Go. Remember, hey, Michelle, I'm a construction company. Hey, you are a construction company. Find it and go. All right. Number 9, join a local organization, not a chamber. Do not join a chamber of commerce. The majority of them are horrible. They take your money. They're a scam. The majority of them. No, remember, I'm not saying 100% truths to anything. The majority of them, they're not going to be worth their salt. You're going to waste a lot of money and time going to dinners and functions and not moving the needle. I want you to make money and be successful. All right. Go back. Right? So we're going to target areas, cities, municipalities where predominantly Black and brown people in leadership. We want to build a contract database, go to site visits, industry events to start building your dream team. Once you have them, you guys, did you notice that I wrote all these words on the screen for a reason? I wrote this because I wanted you to use this. I didn't write this because I wanted you to take it and change it up and make something different. There's only 120 people watching. So if you guys go do all this stuff, they still ain't going to meet the goals. But you could care less because you're going to be making money. So again, start attending Economic Development Corporation meetings. Anybody, just type in Economic Development Corporation. Listen, we go to these cities, right? If I go to Jackson, Mississippi, right? Let's just do it. Let me show you how this works. So Economic Development Corporation. Let me type in Jackson, Mississippi, Economic Development Corporation. Did y'all see how easy I did that? Everybody see what I did? I typed in Jackson, Mississippi, Economic Development Corporation. Here it is. That's it. All right. That's all I did. right? And they have the Planning and Development Authority. They got Housing, the Economic Development Authority, Mississippi Development Authority, Planning and Development District, right? Greater Jackson Alliance. That's all I did. All right. And now we're going to find a local community development corporation. That's different. Community Development Corporation is different than the Economic Development Corporation. Does anybody know? And it's funny because I watch certain things, right? It says the reason why we don't have money because we don't study money. Does anybody know why it's called Economic Development Corporation? Take a guess. Let's look at the word. What does economic development even mean? Let's Google economic development definition. Economic development programs, policies, activities that seek improve the economic well-being and quality of life for a community. I'm sending y'all to the place where their goal is design programs and policies to improve the economic well-being and quality of life for community. And most of y'all ain't never been there. And you talk about you want to get money. You never even been there. You're talking about getting money, and you ain't been to the places where they designing policies to get money. But y'all listen to Dr. Umar and all these people talk about black wealth. They're not telling you how to do it. I like what they saying, but they're not telling me how to do it. Tell me how to do it then. Boys, tell me how to do it. This is where they design the policies, and we're not even there. We're not even there. They're designing the policies around economic development for you and me, and we're not even there. How is this possible? I don't know. I don't even understand it. They're not even teaching you this stuff. So again, I, I, I get it. Like they're very popular and they sound good and they yell at you and they scream and they empower this and that and this basic stuff that the system is designed to do to help us. We are not there, and we're not representing it. We've got people that are there that are put in place because we decided, right, that we want to get money from another source, some other. Like I think y'all like to feel good, and like people make you feel better about yourself, and so that's good enough for you to go away and not ask like what the hell is going on in my city, my town. I'm not telling you stuff to make you feel good. I'm just telling you this is the system that was created. I learned how to navigate the system. I'm coming back and teaching y'all this system exists everywhere. That's why that's why I said use the word economic development corporation. Every city has one. Community development corporation. Now, if you notice, I told you two different things. Matter of fact, screenshot this because for the two different groups, I told you to do two different actions. One I said was for economic development corporation was to attend the meetings. So you're just listening with your two ears and your one mouth. Shut up. I ain't say go talk. Listen. You're going to listen. You start attending the meetings to listen. Now, number 8, the local community development corporation, you're going to see how you can help them. Okay. So one, you're going to sit in and listen and be a fly on the wall. The other, you're going to see how can I participate and help. I'm very intentional about my actions and the things that I'm saying to do. I wrote that for a reason. I want y'all to know that. I want when y'all leave this call today, I want y'all to take that with you. Eric wrote all this stuff for a reason. All right. So now join a local organization, not a chamber. Did you notice, Chris? I wrote not a chamber because I knew people were going to say chamber. I knew they were going to say that. That's why I wrote not a chamber. Because people go to chambers and chambers are terrible. They don't help you make money. They don't. They collect revenues from people, but they don't help you make money. So they're horrible. So I'm like, but because there are the de facto standard for when you supposed to start a small business, they usually have a very high turnover rate because um, people find out quickly that they didn't do anything for them, and so they're just taking your money without giving you any real value. But if you join an organization, preferably a council, notice the word I use, council. Let me highlight it. Okay, if you join a council, right? Where, by the way, this is important, guys. Don't forget this. All right, I'm gonna bold it. Let's see what I wrote. Where people of influence sit. Do you notice that what I'm doing is I'm I'm giving you, so I want y'all to take a rundown of what Eric's doing, right? Some people figure this out. I'm giving you an industry where they make millionaires. I'm giving you a marketplace where there's trillions of dollars in opportunity. So I'm giving this huge marketplace, right? I'm giving you an industry where they make millionaires and a marketplace where there's billions and trillions of dollars of opportunity. I'm giving you, sending you to organizations that are in every town USA. I'm preparing you, right, by helping you to go out, find your dream team, bring them. Now, Eric, why did you say find the dream? Why, Eric? Why can't I go to number 7 and 8 first before I do number 6? Eric, why can't I just go straight to number 10 and start looking for projects? You know why you can't do number 10 first? You know why you want to do number 6 first? Anybody know why I say build your database first before I tell you to go to the meetings and sit on the org and start bidding projects? Anybody know why I say that? The reason why I say that is because when you go to number 7, number 8, right, number 9, number 10, when you do this group here, I'll change the color. When you do these things here, right, okay, if you don't have number 6 and somebody you get number 7 and you tell them, Michelle, I'm a construction company, and they say, wow, Michelle, you know what? We have a project for you. What are you going to say? My man Q said it already. If you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. Amen, Q. That's the reason. Because when you go to 7, 8, 9, 10, you don't know what door is about to open for you because we don't already manifested what's about to happen. So you have no idea when you walk in there. Oh, baby. Who gonna say, Michelle, girl, where you been at? We've been looking for you. Can you do this kind of project? And you're like, oh my gosh, Eric, this thing happened so fast. I wasn't ready for it. Uh, uh, so if you already have your corporation, you already know where to buy the insurance. Even if you haven't bought it, if you already know whether or not license required, if you already built your contract team, if you already have your CPA, right? All this stuff, you've already engaged with all the people beforehand. So when they say go, by the way, your CPA is a top tier CPA that represents 30, $40 million companies. So guess what happens, Michelle, when you go to one of these meetings? And let's say you met with the CPA. And the CPA is like my CPA. What is my name, my CPA? I don't, it's in the fun. So our CPA is called CRI. So let's say, Michelle, um, here, let's say, right? Hear me out, guys. Everybody hear me out, right? So now I go to a meeting, right? I'm at the economic development meeting. I'm at a community development meeting, and I say, hey, right? I'm a construction company. They say, oh, Michelle, wow, who's your CPA? They can say that, Michelle. Who's your accountant? And I go CRI, right? They might be blown away just to know that you have. They go, oh, really? We have CRI. Who do you have, John or Bill? No, I work with John. Just having a CPA that's working with the kind of companies of that stature will give you instant credibility. And you ain't did a first project yet. You ain't did one job. You ain't bid nothing. You ain't never bid a project. Do y'all understand this? Do y'all see where I'm going? Why again, it's Think and Grow Rich. As a man thinketh, manifest. You have you, everybody's so worried about work all the time. We haven't did any work yet. We're putting you in a position, right? What if they say, "Hey, Michelle, who do you use for roofing?" You said, "Well, I've never used them before, but I met him on a couple job sites. You know Smith, you know Bob Smith or Hilson Roofing?" Oh yeah, I know Hilson Roofing. They're a great company. You did meet him on a couple job sites, right? Then you meet Hilson Roofing on some job sites. You got his card. You called him and told him we'll make money together. See why this is important, folks? Y'all see why it's important? Because all these things that I told you to do prepared you for this moment in time. And so now, right, when you go to the economic development meetings, you go to community development corporations, right, and you start looking at projects, all these things that you have done up here will have supported you to get down to here. And so I'm running on 2 hours here. Um, by the way, real quick, just for everybody who missed us in the beginning, I'm going to drop this in here. All right. So we did because we had some problems in the beginning with buying the program, our this month sales. We extended out to December the 15th. So I'm going to drop it in here for any of those out there. And we actually do this month have a specific program specifically for construction. And so for that program, you definitely have to meet with a coach. But our next cohort starts December the 22nd. So we're going to open this up until the 15th, and then we'll start teaching again government contract, federal contracting, and specifically these things as well. And so I want you to know that. And then lastly, Federal Help Center. If you have not already joined, go in there. It's free. And Colin's on the call today. He's leading the mission on that. It's a free group of us that's really doing the same thing in a big way. And so I want everyone to have access to this information all the time, regardless of whether you give me money or not. So we're doing this because we believe it's necessary and we're going to make a difference in our communities and all the communities around. And so, this is my way of giving back. So don't ask for no more free stuff because I've given everybody enough free stuff as it is. So that's my way of giving back and building that community. Colin's running it. So I just want to say those things real quick before we close out today. So now, all right. So you're going to start with economic development meetings. You're going to find a local community development corporation. You're going to join a local organization, preferably where people of influence sit. You're not a chamber. And then number 10, you're going to start looking for smaller projects. I like demolition. It's super easy to start off. And then my second favorite are single trade projects, plumbing, electrical, AC, things like that. So single trade projects meaning that it's not just one person. You don't have like you're not building a whole building. So maybe it's replace some AC units, maybe it's replace some pipes. So it's just basically you need one trade to do the work. And the reason why you need one trade to do the work is so like basically you could start off with just getting one vendor. And so that means that you could call one guy and give you a price. And then, right, for that price, basically you have little risk. As you start to grow and experience and you've gotten some crapola sandwiches and you got beat up a little bit, then you can start spreading off to multiple trades, like 2 or 3 trades. But in the beginning, when you're first starting off, right, we want you to, I say, focus on one trade type jobs. So if there's a job replacing some floors, then that's what I would stick with. Okay. And so that's number 10. And then number 11 and 12. Number 11, this is important, right? You want to look for an advocate. So when you're out here and you're going to these towns, and you're telling people you're a construction company, you're building relationships with vendors, you are also at the same time, right? You're going into site visits, you're attending these meetings, you're part of these corporations. You want to find your advocate, a true fan. So, what does that mean? That means you're looking for someone inside the city halls, inside of those facilities that says, you know what, Michelle, I love the work that you're doing. You're doing a great job. Let me take it under my wing. And we've got some projects over here at my division that we could start looking at, right? You specifically, you doing all of these projects because we have not met our goals, and you're now demonstrating that you have capability to help us meet our goals. So you're going to be wanting to always be looking for an advocate, right, while you're out doing this stuff. Hey, Mrs. Brown, I see you've been here for a long time. Uh, I'm just getting started in construction, and for me, uh, you know, we're wanting to do a good job, and so we want to make sure we don't make any mistakes, and so we're looking at right, how do we continue to impress you guys? How do we continue to deliver? Right, things like that. So that's what you want to look for, right? When you're out there visiting and talking to people, you want to be constantly looking for that advocate, all right? And then number 12, grow your bonding and then dominate, right? And so for me, right, as you start to win some projects, you want to find out from right the bonding company. And again, if you don't know bonding, we use we recommend Peter Gibbs. So, and again, we have classes on all that stuff. And by the way, really quickly, something else. Again, maybe you missed this in the beginning. When you sign up for our programs, we give you 30-day credit, supplier credit. So we give you net 30 terms. So we actually give you that. I give you references for your company to do that, even if you're a new company. So just FYI. So we want to look for that advocate, but at the same time, as you start winning some of these small projects, you want to find out what does it take to get bonding, what are the requirements, and what you need to do. So between your CPA and talking to Peter Gibbs or the bonding company, then they're going to help you basically shape up the organization in a way that allows you to structure it so that you can get bonding. And once you start getting bonding, then they'll tell you how to keep it and grow it and scale it and those kind of things. So that's really it. I do have a list of do's and don'ts that we'll go through quickly. Um, and I do have some tricks and things like that we'll go through. I wrote this down. One thing, like I said, vendor credit. When we first started off, we use vendor credit. We use friends and family who also own businesses to give us references for credit. If some of the other things that we've done in the past, again, I'm going to say this. I was talking to Brandon, my son, Saturday or Friday, and I was telling him about some of the things that my friends and I did to build up our organization. And he said, I thought that everything they taught us in school was the way that people did stuff. And I said, unfortunately, the rules are set against us. And the policies that are put in place are today are to keep the rich people rich and to keep the poor people poor. And so if we don't learn how to navigate the rules, right, to our favor, then we're going to constantly struggle to make ends meet and to get ahead. So one of the things that I told him was, it's very difficult to get credit when you don't have credit. And so he said it to me. He goes, yeah. He goes, Dad, I went to the bank and they said, well, you don't have enough credit to get credit. Isn't that an oxymoron? Well, how am I supposed to get credit if I don't have credit and then you won't give me credit? So the bank solution is, oh, give us money and then we'll lend you back your money and then we'll charge you fees, fines, and penalties on your money that you gave to us to lend back to you, which is a pretty dumb thing to do. So if you go by all of the stuff that conventional schooling or whatever you guys learn from teaches you, just keep in mind, in my opinion, they're they're teaching things to keep you in the system that they want you to stay in. So some of the things that we've done in the past, maybe it feels not right, But these are things that are legal. Um, you know, I bought real estate in other people's names before. Um, and so a lot of times I'm just showing you things that we did. You can choose to do them, you can choose not to do them. I'm telling you what I've had to do in the past to help me overcome some of the hurdles and obstacles that other people place in front of me, right? So some of the things that other people have done that maybe we were not taught these tactics. So let's take the whole credit thing, right? Does anybody know what credit even is? Right. So we ask the bank for credit. We ask these suppliers for credit. What is credit? If I lend you money, Michelle, and you pay me back, I that's credit, right? We created credit. Same thing with anybody on Justine. So credit is basically what? Let's look it up. I mean, let's look up credit, right? The definition of credit, right? So it says here, the ability of a customer to obtain goods or services before payment based on trust that payment will be made in the future. Okay. So essentially, we can each give each other credit because all it's saying is for you to get goods or services. So if you if I gave you this book and I said, "Hey, Michelle, you owe me $10," right? Like, okay, I gave you credit. Somehow our brains have been twisted to believe that the only people that can give credit are like banks and financial institutions. We can give each other credit, and this is allowed. That's not illegal. Our minds are screwed up. They've screwed our brains up, guys. You and I can give each other credit. It's just the ability for someone to pay back. So when they tell us, right, on your application that you need references for credit, I want you to think, Nadia, if you've ever gotten something from somebody in your family or friends that you had to pay them back later, that was credit. They extended you credit. That's right, we can bank all day, but they're not teaching us this. So we don't know this. So we, again, put ourselves in this box of, well, only the bank can issue credit. That's not true. Anyone can issue you credit by definition. It's just based on trust that a payment will be made in the future. So why can't we issue credit to each other? That's allowed, and that's what I do. So I give you a reference for credit because to me, if you bought one of my programs, right? It's we did an exchange of goods and services, right? So that's all. This is what it says. The ability of customer to obtain goods or services before payment based on trust that we made in the future. Yo, people, I'm telling you, don't let these people mess with your brains. They ruining us. They're ruining us. They're telling us the limitations of what we can and can't do when that's not even what that's not in the law anywhere. That's not what it says, man. So so again, let's go back to my list. I gotta get off this call. I gotta get ready. I fly to New Jersey at like in the morning. So something else that we've done in the past. All right. We research old companies that are closed down, right? To buy them or use them for references or history. Banks don't lend money to broke people. Don't waste your time. Work on a project basis and save your money. Get a Platinum American X card. They will give it to anybody because the fees are so high, and you can borrow 20,000 against it. Do you know that I put my hotel bill for my conference? It was over $100,000. I put on my American Express card. I My hotel bill for my conference was over $100,000, and I charged it to my American Express card. in one shot. Well, they charge 50 and then 30 and then another 20 like that. But in the same statement, not over months. Like because they had put on my previous personal Amex and then they didn't want to give me my nonprofit tax deductible. So they said that they had to refund me the 30 some thousand I already charged and then put it all on this new card. So I gave them my Amex and they charged the whole thing on there. Amex card, because the fees are like 600 bucks a year and the interest is really high, but they're a bank. You can use them like a bank. Just telling you. This other people do it all the time. Hey, but we use it for frivolous things. We use it for iPhones. We use it for Christmas shopping. We use it for frivolous things rather than something like to grow our business, to scale our business. So basically, right, I don't need a bank. I got MX Platinum. Choop. And by the way, I had an MX Platinum when I didn't have any money too. But at the time, I was running $12,000, $15,000 on there. By the way, another secret, I defaulted on my MX Platinum when I ran out of money the second time when I got sued. Guess what? I still got another MX Platinum. They forgive you. They don't care. Hey, MX Platinum is unlike some of y'all family members. They don't have a long memory and hold grudges. They forgive you. You pay them back. Okay, here's another platinum. Yeah, hit the like something and do a sale. Just telling you. All my companies, we have Amex everywhere. Just didn't got that one. I'm just telling you, use it. We're taught to consume, right, rather than invest. Don't use MX Platinum to consume garbage. Use it to buy your soil, use it to buy your materials for your job, and then pay it back and get the points. All of my friends, we all have it. And then you get to go do cool things like be in lounges and stuff like that when you travel. All right, couple things, and I gotta run. I gotta run. I'm getting tired. Uh, if you have no license, right, do products that do not require a license. This seems simple, but some of you guys are gonna leave this live and you're gonna say, Eric, I don't have a license. If you don't have bonding, do not do products that don't require bonding. Everybody don't have bonding. It's fine. All the products don't require bonding. All right, here's my checklist. Here's my checklist. Screenshot this. Do not, do not, do not, do not, do not. Do not work with someone that you do not know or do not trust if they show deceit in any way. Okay. Again, we're already dealing with an industry fraught with schemers and ex criminals and people that have typically been known to do, um, you know, their their meter for right and wrong leans is very it's a very flexible meter. And so we're already dealing with a group of people who typically um, they're already on the shady side, let's say that for the most part. So if someone shows deceit in any way, run far and fast, cut them off. Kevin, I don't know what you mean by is Amex a charge card? I'm not sure what that means. Okay. And I'm saying this truthfully, guys. I'm telling you this. Listen, I want you to be successful, but there's enough people out here. You don't have to work with people who show you that. Um, I had a guy who we were looking to do business with, who, and again, I'm not here to judge, right? I don't care what you do in your personal life. I do could care less. However, this person openly confessed to me about cheating on their wife, and it wasn't in a remorseful manner. It was very unremorseful. So it was like it was almost in a bragging type of way. And so I chose not to do business with this person. N- I don't care about his moral compass and I really don't care because I don't know the guy. However, if we're going to do business together, right? And you've shown to me in our first meeting that you have zero moral compass, and you didn't come across as though you were trying to make some sort of improvements or changes, or that you even thought that this was, this is a person that you had a certain beliefs about it. I can only imagine how you will handle dealing with me if we were to get into a situation. And by the way, this is not the first time that he had shown something to that effect. He had missed a couple meetings prior to that. And then on one of the meetings, he gave a different story than the person in his office gave of to why they missed the meeting. So I'm just saying, look out for flags. Okay. Um, so that's all I'm saying. All right. Um, if you have bonding, do not do a bonded project as a subcontractor, only as a prime. Again, we're talking about starting off here, right? Um, I would say that I would use this as a rule, steady fast. Okay. If a company is asking you to bond a project and you're not the prime, don't do it. That's how I almost went bankrupt the second time. Okay. Don't do it. You don't have enough experience, you haven't been around enough, don't do it. Stay away. Okay. Do not hire a full-time team. Start off by only managing projects. You've got enough on your plate to deal with on the management side to worry about hiring and having to pay for full-time employees. Start off by just managing projects. Do what we said. Go find subs that can do the work that'll make you proud, that you guys can make money together, and start off by just managing the projects. Again, by the definition of the federal government side, managing projects counts as performing self-performance. So don't call it middleman, because if you call it anything that sounds remotely like a handout, the people who will be working for you underneath you are going to be offended and they're going to not want to do business with you. So if you give any inkling as to you're trying to or looking at a handout of some sort, the people will run. Okay, so don't do that. Do not allow someone to use your license. This is another common thing in construction that people do. If someone says, "Hey, I just want to use your license and I'll pay you money." No, have them hire you for the project and then they can work underneath your license. But you do not get to use my license, and you're not going to pimp me out, right? And then have me make peanuts. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to get the credit. We are building a business here. I'm teaching you how to build business so you can build wealth. This ain't middleman strategy no more. Middleman strategy is all of that. What do they call it? That's that hustle mentality stuff. We ain't hustling no more. All right, guys. We are doing what I just teach y'all. We are doing economic development. Forget about hustle mentality. We're doing economic development now. All right. We're changing lives. We're creating generational change. You can't do that by hustling. Stop hustling and stop making it seem cool. Look, all they did by making everybody do Uber and DoorDash and all this stuff, they keep putting us down to where you can't. How can you build wealth doing DoorDash and Uber? You can't. Stop. Stop. No, no more hustle. Cancel that. No, we're not hustling. We're building companies that can be bought and sold so that when you finish with this, all the work you put in, you can sell the business. That's what we're doing. So get rid of that mentality. Jay-Z ain't hustling no more. Y'all call Jay-Z, well, he's hustling. They ain't hustling. Listen, the people I'm with, the people that I hang out with, people I associate with. I don't know if y'all saw it. Maybe some of y'all did. Maybe some of y'all didn't. Okay, I'm just listen. I'm just listen. You see how I roll. This how I roll. Okay, this is how I roll. All right. This lady to the left, husband's a multi-millionaire. The guy to my to well to the first thing, the guy next to with the glasses, he just finished right doing the commercial for the Cracker Barrel commercial with Dolly Parton. The guy next to me, he's getting ready to sell the company, and he's helping me structure our contract and other business to sell it. So I'm listen. You got to be around people that know wealth and money, and that can help you with that. You gotta be around these kind of people, man. You gotta be like these have to these like when you start doing these things, these are the kind of people that you can start making friends with. Like that's the kind of people, right? So like let's just scratch that whole hustle mentality thing. All right. So let's go back. So do not work with anybody who does not want to work with you. Companies, partners, cities, etc. Don't try to force people to do that. Don't try to force people to work with you that don't want to work with you. That's fine. If they don't rock with you, don't rock with them. That's cool. Don't go in here trying to make these people do business with you. Y'all see it all the time. Listen, there's other places to go and to work. The reason why I teach government contract is because I don't find that racism effect that you feel in other industries, other places. So if you find that you're being pushed up against that, I'm not saying you can't go back later when you got money and power and you got your stuff together, but in the beginning, don't put yourself in situations where you got to be in more hurdles. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Like, by the way, and the last thing on my do not list: do not hire a handyman unless you absolutely must. Please. I know my people. I love y'all. I always gonna say this. I love y'all. Do not hire a handyman unless you must. You're gonna I know that you want to help your people, and we're gonna help our people. I promise we're gonna get there. But you gotta help yourself first. So if your Uncle Al has a pickup truck and he tells you that he could cut the trees, right? And you got a tree project, and Uncle Al say, Michelle, or your mama say, Michelle, now don't get out here and you think you big and better than your cousins now because you got this construction company thing. Let your Uncle Al cut them trees and make some money too. Say, Mom, respectfully, it's not a construction thing, it's a construction business. And respectfully, you know Uncle Al has a this problem and a that problem and that problem. So why would you want to jeopardize my construction business that's going to protect your grandkids and their grandkids for future generations to come? Why would you want to endanger the wealth of our family to give Uncle Al a project where he's just going to take the money and do whatever he does with it? How about let me successfully do this project, and then I will give Uncle Al $100 for his habit. How about that? So it's easier for you to go and hire a white company that's been doing tree cutting for 30 years that has a $10 million insurance policy that if somebody gets electrocuted, they ain't come after your behind. Let the white company take the hit because they policy cover it and because they got white lawyers and white people behind them. Let them people go out there and take the hit, right? And then your black behind ain't being trumped up with some charges for somebody who got killed because they hit an electrical pole trying to cut down trees. Give Uncle Al $100 later after you make your money using the white company. That's all I'm saying. I'm just telling you. You do not hire them. They are more work than it's worth. It costs you more money than it's worth. It, hire the best. And again, for all my other people that I listen to this, I say white company because the majority of companies in America are predominantly white owned, but you hire the best people. So I don't care what they look like, but you hire the company that's been around, that's established, that has a reputation, that has resources to protect you. I'm worried about protecting Michelle. I'm not worried about Uncle Al. I'm worried about protecting my people on this call. I want you protected. So you need a company that's established and reputable to protect you and your family because that's who I'm worried about. So I need you protected. So, mom, respectfully, I love Uncle Al. He's my favorite crazy uncle. But when I finish this project, uh, I'll give Uncle Al, I'll buy him for Christmas whatever he wants to get. And that's it. Be done with it. But do not use handyman. Hire established companies, like my man said, that have insurance policies that can protect you in the event of something happens. It's a worst case scenario, but you don't want to be on front page news. So that's my do nots. I had to hit y'all with that. Do number one, hire reputable companies to get work done. You see that? Always use contracts and agreements. Always require the person to add you as an additional insured on their insurance policy. Hire a construction CPA. Hire a construction attorney. Have one on standby for major things. Now, on the legal side, you can use a cheapo attorney also on standby, friend, family, classmate, for minor things such as demand letters, rebuttals, etc. So on the attorney side, you can have a cheap one and you can have a construction one on standby because you don't necessarily need a big time attorney for everything. So you can have a cheapo, not cheapo, but you can have your friends or classmate or your girlfriend, somebody who went to law school, maybe they're not practicing, to look over stuff, right? Okay. Uh, Find someone at the city, state that likes you and lets them become your advocate. Be intentional looking for that person. Someone who likes minorities and wants to help is the best. They don't have to be minority. In fact, they might not even be minority. The people who've helped me the most have actually been non-minority people. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. The people who've helped me the most in my life have typically been like white males. I'll be honest with you. Maybe because there's more of them, and maybe because more of them in a position of power, and maybe they have more to give. But I found that in my experiences, that's just been my experiences. So note here, I did not write what the person should look like. I wrote that a person, right, who likes to help is the best. Okay. And again, hey, I said this again. I wrote it down again. Join an organization, preferably not a chamber. I hate that I'm telling you, right? Join an organization, preferably not a chamber. Eric, why construction? Here's my reason for construction. No competition. The most of people hate paperwork. Lots of projects, constant work, tons of areas to focus on. Boomers are leaving ownership. Workers are typically not college educated, and you can add systems and processes to improve. All right. That's my show for today. That's what I have to present. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope some of you signed up for our cohort coming up. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. We really do have the best program out there that's going to help support businesses. Uh, I hope that some of you make different kind of decisions and how you invest your finances. I know that we all want to give kids Christmas gifts and presents and everything like that, and that's great, But I can tell you this: my family knows me. I stopped giving Christmas gifts a long time ago. I give my family experiences, and so no one actually looks to me for Christmas gifts anymore. And guess what? It's perfectly acceptable. But when you can take your family on trips and go out the country and go places, travel exotic places, and go stay at nice hotels, nobody really comes to you and say, "Hey, where's my Christmas gift?" I just know as a personal experience who's been doing it for many years, that's not how it rolls in my family. So no one comes to me and says, "Hey, Uncle Eric, where's my Christmas gift?" Um, They get to hang out with me in a Centurion lounge, right? And so that's for me. I think that a lot of us, we've been tricked into believing that we have to give Christmas gifts and presents and stuff to really, to me, you're really in so many ways you're substituting for being there with your kids emotionally, physically, because you're out working. And again, go back to what Charleston White said. So many of our parents are having to work two jobs. Mom and daddy is working to pay the bills to do this stuff, and you're not actually home and spending time with your kids. So your kids are suffering, right? And you think that gifts are going to make up for that. And really, all they want to do is spend time with their family. So if you just make the sacrifice one year to go out there and invest in your time, education, learn so you can spend more time with them, the Christmas gifts won't even matter. I can't remember my Christmas gifts when I was 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know how many of you guys remember your gifts when you're at that age as well. So I just say that because we keep following like sheep the things that people are telling us to do without any consciousness or being oblivious to how it's impacting us long term. And so I know a lot of kids that have um, trauma in their house, and it could have been reversed if their family spent more time with them. And unfortunately, we're still saying, I'm going to trade working my job and working all his hours to buy my kid this gift that he's not going to remember instead of spending time with the kid and hugging on him, loving on him, and being there with him to review his homework, to go to his events, right? Where they're looking for that. And so we continue as a community to make poor choices with the little bit of resource that we do have and then complain about how we can't get ahead. And so I'm here to change that curse and I'm here to pour into you guys. And so I do like Charleston White. And I mean, I kind of like his style of maybe you have to go ignorant to get people to hear us. I'm trying to go more professional to get y'all to hear me. But if I got to go ignorant, I'm from an ignorant place and I know how to be ignorant too. So I know how to talk ignorant. I know how to be ignorant. I know how to fit in. Trust me. I like when Charleston White say he go to the same place and don't have security. I go to my community and don't have security either. So I am not that far removed, but unfortunately, we as a community have to do better. You know, we gotta do better. Like you have to sacrifice something. So when people tell me, oh, this is my goal, this is my dream, yeah, but you didn't tell me what you're willing to sacrifice to get there. So I can't rock with you on your dream and your goal if you didn't tell me what you're gonna sacrifice to get there because there is no dream and no goal without a sacrifice. So you can't brag to me, I'm gonna do 4 million in 5 years without saying, well, what are you gonna give up? What are you gonna give up to do the 4 million in 5 years? Because that's gonna take something. So you haven't told me what you're willing to give up. And so I ask people to give up Christmas. They say that's too much. Okay. Well, I, I, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm telling you what I've done. I worked New Year's Eve night at Kinko's Coffee Center when I was in college. I worked New Year's Eve night at Kinko's Coffee Center when I was in college. While everybody's out on New Year's bringing it in, drinking, partying, I was in Kinko's sitting down there working. So if you're not willing to give up anything, then you might as well go ahead and crush your dreams and your hopes and all other stuff as well. I'm gonna drop in there. Here's a list of cities for y'all if y'all want it. I'll put all this stuff on there. So a lot of people are they're saying they want this and that and the other, and when they want to give up, it's nothing. They want to continue to um, drive a new car, buy kids Christmas gifts, live in a house that they can't afford, live in a community they can't afford, pay rent they can't afford, and they want to give up nothing. And I come out here and tell y'all I gave up everything, and y'all still don't want to do that, but you want to be here. So it's so weird how, again, I tell you, y'all want to do what I do, not what I did. I keep saying that. You want to do what I do now, but not what I did back then. I told y'all I moved from Brickell and I moved to a $40,000 house. What's wrong with that? But y'all don't want to do that. I told y'all I stopped giving Christmas gifts. What's wrong with that? But y'all don't want to do that. Somebody said they bought a new car. I didn't buy no new cars. So what is it that y'all want? I'm confused. I'm so confused. What do y'all really want? Because what you're saying you want and what you're willing to do to get it is as opposites. It's the opposite. So I think about that this holiday, right? Think on that. I want y'all to sit back and say, hey, say to hey, say this to yourself, right? What am I willing to give up this year? What am I willing to sacrifice? You know. So I saw. Hey, y'all be good, man. I love you. I gotta get ready. By the way, I'll send you some pictures. I fly to New Jersey tomorrow, and then Tuesday we go to Thailand and Singapore for the next 9 days. So, but I didn't do that back then, and so I was able to give my family a trip. Now I'm gonna take me a trip, and then I'll see y'all later. And if y'all sign up this month, I'll see y'all in December for the new accelerated cohort that's starting up. Looking forward to everybody, and or I'll see you in Federal Help Center. Love you guys. Be good. Love you, bro. Be good, Q, Claudia.